Hey mums, how are you feeling today? This is Nisha, and today I wanted to take you through one of the most difficult exercises to get right on your program, and that's squats. Now, the reason that squats is so difficult is because it's a movement that uses nearly all the muscles in your body, so practically 600 muscles, but it crosses all of your major joints. So we're talking about ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, and head. Okay, so let's get straight into it. With pregnancy, you want to take your feet a bit wider for your squat because you have to compensate for the weight of a growing bump in the front, so you have to allow passage for the bump moving downwards and upwards, and you need a more stable base of support. So we start with the feet turned out to 45 degrees and at slightly wider than hip width. Now, the wider your base of your support, then the wider your feet, the wider your base of support, so you're more stable the wider you go. And as your pregnancy progresses, you probably want to go just a little bit wider. But please don't squat out here because you're not going to get much out of it. So yeah, just slightly wider than hip width apart, 45 degrees. Now let's talk about alignment through your body before you move. All of your major joints want to be aligned along a plumb line, basically. So my knee joint wants to sit above my ankle joint. Butterfly there, sorry, that shocked me, came across my face. Your hip joint wants to be over the top of your knee joint. Your shoulders want to be over your hips. Your earlobe wants to be in line with your shoulder. So let's talk about how you set that up. First of all, you want to pull up through your knees. Then pull up through your thighs. And this is the most important part. Squeeze your bottom down as hard as you can. This will bring your pelvis into neutral. Now, by doing this, you reduce pressure and compression in the discs in your lower back. So you are eliminating risk of incurring injury and pregnancy back pain. So this is really important. I can't stress this enough. Bring your pelvis into neutral. This is the starting position and the finishing position for this exercise. And it's pretty much the basis for all the posture of all the exercises you're going to do. You always want to bring your pelvis into neutral at start and finish of any exercise. Okay, from there, bring the belly button in to activate your transverse abdominis, because this is your core and you want it to be activated and working to help your body stabilize during your movement. So what we do is breathe in, fill the belly with air. So it swells out like this. Now, as you exhale, you want to push that belly button back to the spine. So exhale, keep it locked there. Now you'll be able to feel that you're tight here, around the front, where you're supporting all of your internal structures and your spine. Okay, next one, shoulders. So the weight of your boobs is going to pull them down like this in pregnancy. And if you sit in an office, it's going to be worse because you're forced into this position all day, every day. So you want to make sure that they're back and open and they're supporting and lifting your chest, because the last thing you want is saggy boobs, upper back and shoulder pain. So squeeze your shoulder blades together. Imagine you have a $100 bill stuck between the blades. Now you want to keep that $100 bill there the whole time. Don't let it drop. So your shoulders have to stay back the whole time we're moving. Next point, you want your shoulder blades down away from your ears. So create as much length as you can in your neck. So the earlobe wants to be as far away from the shoulder blade as possible. And then the head, you want to tuck your chin back to bring your neck into neutral alignment, because again, if you're squatting like this, you're going to compress all these discs in your neck, and it's really bad news for you because you're going to end up with injury later on. So squeeze the chin back and imagine you're making a double chin. Now this is posture you should be adopting all the time, but as you train, your body will get more and more used to standing and walking and sitting like this. Okay, weight goes back into the heels for the movement, so you want to shift the weight into the heels, wiggle your toes, and you want to be able to wiggle your toes the whole time that we're squatting. Now, to squat, most people bend their knees. Not right. Please don't bend your knees. You will end up tearing cartilage in your knees, you'll end up twisting your knee joint, and you'll end up damaging yourself and injuring yourself. So, first of all, you make sure that you shift the weight back into your heels. We actually squat through the hips. We don't squat through the knees, we squat through the hips. It's a hip hinge movement. So we're going to hip hinge, stick the bottom out, weight is in the heels. So now we're already starting to move backwards rather than forwards, okay? So imagine you've got a seat behind, and if you're new to this, you might actually want to put a chair behind to help guide you where you're going to go. So hip hinge, sit that bottom backwards and start to move back and down into your squat until you come to the bottom of your squat. Now, depending how strong you are and how flexible, you might not be able to go this low. You might be able to go deeper, I don't know, but you want to work to your range. So only travel in the range that you are comfortable with and that you feel that you have control over. Okay, so let's do that again. Sit the weight back into the heels, hip hinge, and sit back as if you're sitting on that chair behind. Now at the bottom of the squat, you want to make sure that your shin bones are nice and straight. So you don't want the weight into your knees and be travelling forward like this, because that's going to put pressure into your knee joint. You want to be sitting back into those heels, nice straight shin bone, and coming down almost parallel to the ground here. So 90-degree angle if you can. From there, we're squeezing through the heels. So drive through the heels, squeeze the bottom through, and lock back into this neutral pelvis position that I was talking about a minute ago. Keeping that tummy button down, shoulders open, and head back. Let's do that again. Shift weight, sit back, all the way down, keeping the knees travelling in the same direction as the toes. So now you want to check, are my knees travelling in the same direction as my toes? You don't want your knees dropping in. So often this is what you'll see. People with their knees dropping in. Or sometimes, but this is a bit more rare, you'll see people dropping out. You want your knees to stay in the same place. They don't move. Okay, so make sure that your knees are staying in the same place. Now, if you are dropping in, squeeze your bottom. It will pull your knees out. So squeeze that bottom all the way down. Drive up. Squeeze the bottom all the way down. Drive up. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So, best thing you can do is get someone to check what you're doing. Do it in front of a mirror, but if you've got a friend, partner, or even better, if you know someone that's a gym instructor or a personal trainer, get them to check what you're doing. And they need to check from all angles. So, from the side, from the front, and from the back, make sure that you're training safely. Okay, that's it for today. I will speak to you tomorrow. Okay, bye.